Hey guys, I'm back. It's Sarah here. I have finished cutting out all of these fussy cuts for my little golden book journals, and I am about ready to start picking out my trims and ribbons. So my goal here is to pick out a ribbon. I'm going to ruffle it up and put them on the first pages of each signature. So my signature covers. I have a bunch here. I'm going to try to use everything all these that are in my stash. I've been hoarding them for way too long, and they really just need to get used up. So I start out here by picking my trims according to the cover. And then I realize, actually, I want to be picking them out according to how they look best on the front pages, because that's where they're going to be sitting. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then just looking, trying to decide what I want to do, if I want to ruffle them and then glue them down or sew them on. So here's my next book, The Prayers for Children. And I'm just trying to decide what's going to be best. I really like this one because it has the red in it and the blue. And then, of course, I'm picking this one because it complements it really well and it goes with that front cover. And what I also want to do is put some trim right on the side of my, kind of like my middle page. You know, when you open up your signature, the middle page, I want to have one piece of trim on the front of that as well, because I feel like that'll be evenly spaced out. So I'm just looking off to the side. I have a whole bucket of trim to choose from. That one was kind of like I don't know, like a velveteen. I decide that one's too busy. I want something more simple since the page itself is really busy. So I'm going in to look at my velvet ribbon. I have this nice red one, which I think will complement really well. I try to do a lot of red and blue in this one. So now I'm going to go to my second signature, and I have this kind of quilted look, and it's in a light tan color. So I place it down and look at it a couple times before I decide on it. So that's all put together. I'm going to grab the little fussy cuts beside it so that they can all be in the same place. And my next book here is The Three Little Pigs. Again, I'm going to take everything, clip it together so I don't lose anything. I love the colors in these. The wallpapers really just, they went so well with the end pages. So I'm deciding if I think that that tone is going to be good. And then I go ahead and decide on this color, which is a little darker. And here is the middle. And I like this cute little like plaid. And I saw it had orange, so I start by trying with that orange lace, and that was definitely not working. And then the sheer one wasn't going to be seen. Let's see. That's that piece of velveteen again. I keep wanting to use it. I have this kind of like a rickrack, like a faux rickrack. It's got gold thread and that blue. And I figured that's going to work really well on there. And then the next one, oh, I love this paper. It's just like such a soft cream color with these little flowers. And then I think, oh, that looks cute, but then it blends in too much. The pink. The reason why I'm looking at pinks right now is to pull in from the other side of the page. You can see a little bit of that, and I really like how that came out. So next book up is going to be Grandpa Bunny. It's a cute one. This one has so much going on in it, though. It has a lot of bright colors. but I also pulled in some of those deep kind of jewel tones, as you can see from the back signature. And I'm trying to decide whether I want these ruffles to lean more toward the brights with that bright green, or more of the jewel tones with the darker kind of green. And so I do deliberate over that a little bit. And even now, I'm not quite sure that I made the right decision, but we'll see. I mean, it's a junk journal. It's not life or death. It's funny how I deliberate so much over these things when, it's just a junk journal. And it's mostly just about having fun. I do like that dark one with the flowers though. This one that I set aside, and then of course I try it with the red as well, because you've got like the dark centers of some of those flowers. And in the end, I'm still deliberating. In the end, I end up going with the two blues. It's so funny. All right, so here's my inside signature pages. Just looking for something that will work with that. Love the pretty blue there with the creamy yellow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really cute. I love that one. Okay, and then I've got these bright, bright colors. Like, oh my goodness. And I end up going with this rickrack, a nice thin pink rickrack. Next journal up is The Mother Goose, Eloise Wilkin. I'm going to go ahead and get those together. I love the colors, the pinks and the blues on here. This is another one where I deliberated a little bit because it's just so hard when I'm limiting my options to using just these for the ruffles. Then I do end up having to give over which is the best. Oh, I still haven't realized that these signatures are upside down yet, but I will. I love those colors. I open it up to find the middle, and that's when I realize they're both upside down. Love. Oh my gosh. I think this is graphic 45 scrapbook paper. I absolutely love it. And these bright colors, you can do so much with them. I'll show you what I end up using. It's actually a hem tape, a bias tape. And it's really cute. I think I tried to decide whether I want like these two, like layered up, a little pink and a little blue. And I don't end up going with those. I don't know why. I was kind of obsessed with like layering stuff. I'm like, oh, I could layer that too. One of the journals I do end up layering my trim, but it's not this one. I end up finding, here it is, this beautiful green polka dot bias tape. And it looks great with the front, and it looks great against the yellow in the middle. And then my next signature, I have this really cute Anna Griffin scrapbook paper with the pink, like little diamonds almost. And that's super cute with the blue there. Next up, I have Toodle. Oh my gosh, it's a cute one too. This one was a little difficult to choose out because of the colors. It was like a kind of a green and a kind of a pink. And nothing that I have is really pink out of these ribbons. Not that kind of pink anyway. So I start off with that green. And I gotta pull this in somehow. And that matches those flowers like exactly that shade. So I pick that one out. Really cute and middle paper in here. And again, I have that same problem where I don't really want like something super busy on top of a busy paper. So I end up choosing this and it's absolutely perfect because the gold thread really complements the gold foil in that scrapbook paper. A cute pink. I really want to pair it up with something blue. I'm not exactly liking that one in particular, so I grab this grosgrain ribbon with the blue stars, blue background and white stars, and I think that's really nice. Right. Next up, the taxi that hurried, and this is a little bit like I feel like the Grandpa Bunny situation, where you've got a lot of bright colors, but then I also brought in like the jewel tones for my signature covers. So trying to decide where I want to lean into kind of gave me a little bit of a pause. But I decide on those two. I have this again. I had this in another book as well, the scrapbook paper. Trying all different kinds of things, layering again. This one I do end up layering those two pinkish pieces together. Another one of those kind of quilted scrapbook papers. It's a very like deep color compared to the other ones. Just trying to figure out something that's going to complement it. Here's a very sparkly blue trim. Next, we have the polite elephant. These ones again, they're upside down. That doesn't matter. Figure it out anyway. Again, the battle of the greens. Bright green versus like a jewel tone green or dark green. Do I want to go with that? This one pretty much wins every time, that little floral blue. It's just so cute. All right, so then I reverse this. And it's first, no, maybe the second time I've had kind of like a purpley color. So trying to decide whether I want to complement or contrast. I keep keep trying to use that velvet ribbon. I put this sparkly purplish, pinkish, mauve trim here, but in the end, I actually end up going with something I like a whole lot better, which you'll see in just a second. It is this. I love that. I think that is such a better piece to go with that page. And then that piece that I cut already, perfect. It's going to go on the other page like it was made to be there. Next up, we got the pokey little puppy. Clear that away. Again, that look goes really, really great with the back paper. But this front paper is giving me pause. what I end up doing is taking this extra wide ribbon, and I think I'm going to either fold it and sew it that way, or I'll have to cut it straight down the middle and ruffle it that way. But it was the best of the choices that I had. So finally using that piece of velvet, and then I realize my whole signature is upside down. I grab it out again and put it on what would be the front. Still a great choice. Love it. Next off, we have this paper, and complement versus contrast again. Do I want to do something that's going to match, or do something that's going to stand out? And I hem and haw about this one a lot. That's this blue one with the stars, I believe. Right out. I tried this purple one. It's got it's like little loops, like crocheted or something. I didn't like it. Not for this project. This is a red braided trim. Again, no joy there. And here is a greenish bluish velvet. And then I start looking through my velvet, and at this point I'm getting kind of desperate. So I take this green one and pretty much say it's good enough. It'll work. Then I think the next one is the last one. Yes, the 3 bears. I finally reached the end with a big sigh of relief. Guys, this took me over an hour just to pick the trims out, just to decide on all 10 of these what my trims were going to be. This is a purple one, which there is purple in the cover, the flyleaf there that I put down, the end paper. But there's no real purple in my choices here. So I ended up going with blue and the other blue that I feel like complements it pretty well. And then I question my choice again, and I end up just putting all 3 on the front cover so that I can decide later which one I would really like. Love this bright, bright color here, and I just decided to go with a nice contrast with the green. I think that pops really well on the page. And then I have this kind of blue, blue and purple and pink. I have 2 different trims, and I finally realized there are actually different shades. So I end up picking this one. And yay, that's all done.